If you want to beat me, you should have done it yesterday, because every single day, I'm getting better. Israel Adesanya. Following an original report by Spinning Backfist, the UFC confirmed on Tuesday that Adesanya will defend his UFC middleweight title against Sean Strickland in the main event of UFC 293 on September 10th at the Kudos Bank Arena in Sydney, Australia. As soon as it became apparent that Du Plessis, the top contender in that division, wouldn't be able to make the event, Adesanya advocated to fight Strickland at UFC 293. So let us begin and have a look at how Israel Adesanya rose to fame and became a UFC superstar. But before that, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of our videos. Let's get started. Adesanya had always competed in dance competitions around New Zealand before turning to fighting. At UFC 243, he demonstrated his passion of dance through a choreographed strike. After quitting combat, he intends to launch an anime production firm because he is an anime enthusiast. His nick moniker, The Last Stylebender, alludes to the animated television series Avatar: The Last Airbender. On his forearm, Israel has a tattoo in the shape of Toph Beifong, one of the main characters in the program. He is in favour of the legalisation of marijuana in New Zealand in 2020. In September 2020, Adesanya changed his career path to become the first mixed martial arts champion to sign a sponsorship agreement with Puma. Israel was signed to a contract that provided him with $50,000 show capital and a victory premium of $50,000 when he made his UFC 221 debut against Rob Wilkinson. For someone making their group debut, this is significant. Making your loss and victory salaries clear is a hostile point in combat sports, but without adequate force, it's difficult to modify anything else. Israel defeated Wilkinson in the following round that evening in Australia, winning the match, the premium, and the performance bonus for the night premium, saving him an additional $50,000. Israel made an incredible $153,000 for his first UFC fight, using the money he earned from his Reebok sponsorship. Israel's contract with Marvin Verotti increased from $50,000 to $53,000 each in their other fight. His next bout was the Prominent Games spot, and just like it did in the bout earlier, his show and win capital raised by $3,000 each, now at $56,000. Once again, he got the performance of the night, making him $162,000 that evening. Israel Adesanya had fought his way up to a $350,000 flat fee, eliminating his win bonus. With the $50,000 fight of the night bonus, he took back $400,000 that night. It's not strange that he was given a bonus after closed doors, as Dana White usually did when competitors faced like he did that evening. In his bout at UFC 253 with Paulo Costa, Israel was confirmed as a hefty $600,000. On top of that, his Reebok support money is now at the official level for winners, $40,000. Usually, with his dismantling of the Brazilian, he got $50,000 for having the performance of the night, adding almost $700,000. In May 2010, Israel defeated Tim Antonio to begin his 7-fight winning streak. In addition, he triumphed in each of his following 6 battles, including the one against Wu Ling Feng. His winning run earned him a place in the 2014 Kunlun Fight 80kg competition, which was held in conjunction with the Kunlun Fight 2. By an extra round split decision, he lost to Simon Marcus in the semi-final fight. Israel afterwards performed to the best of his ability against Philip Verlinden at Glory 15. Verlinden won the fight thanks to public vote. At Glory of Heroes 3, they engaged in a rematch, which Israel ultimately prevailed in. In the King in the Ring Cruiserweights 2 contest, Israel took part. He prevailed over Slava Alexichik in the quarterfinal by a unanimous decision. He won the match with Jamie Eads' smash after knocking out Patty Afoa in the semi-final. He took part in the 2015 Cruiserweights 3 contest 6 months later. With Patty Afoa's first round smash, he made professional knockouts of Kim Luden and Mark Timms, giving each of them the opportunity to fight again in the quarterfinal and semi-final rounds. Going up in numbers, Israel also took part in the Heavyweights 3 in 2015. He He defeated Dan Roberts by knockout in the semi-final and Naze Fua by TKO in the quarter-final. After overcoming Jamie Eads, he goes on to win the championship. In November 2014, Israel made his professional boxing debut against two-time Australian champion Daniel Aman. He received one of the two wildcards available for the Cruiserweight Super 8 boxing match's initial round. When he appeared to have defeated Aman in the quarterfinals, he was given a dubious defeat by the jury. Israel once more qualified for the Super 8 tournament, which took place in May 2015 in Christchurch's Horncastle Arena. The winner of the other Cruiserweight series received 25,000 New Zealand dollars and a new automobile. He prevailed in both of his fights, the first against fellow New Zealander Asher Derbyshire and the latter against Lance Bryant. He defeated Brian Minto in the final. Additionally, Israel participated in the 2015 Super 8 Cruiserweight tournament. He defeated Lance Bryant by a majority decision in the Cruiserweight Championship fight after winning his quarter-final battle against Zane Hotman. Israel defeated James Griffiths by TKO in his professional debut in 2012. Before taking a 2-year break from mixed martial arts, he defeated John Vake via TKO. Israel transitioned to MMA in August 2015 after defeating Song Kenan via TKO. He continued to compete frequently on the Oceanian and Chinese circuits, compiling an undefeated 8-0 record. At Australia Fighting Championship 20, he defeated Melvin Gillard through first-round TKO to win the AFC Middleweight Championship. Likewise, he defeated Stuart Dare in the opening round to win the Hex Fight Series middleweight title. Around December 2017, it was reported that Israel had approved an agreement with the UFC. On February the 11th, 2018, he made his debut next to Rob Wilkinson at UFC 221. In the following round, he won the bout by technical knockout. By split decision, Israel defeated Martin Verotti on April 14, 2018. In the Ultimate Fighter 27 finale on July 6, 2018, Israel defeated Brad Tavares to win his second performance of the night honor. On November 3, 2018, at UFC 230, Israel defeated Derek Brunson via specific knockout in the opening round. He received the performance of the night honor through this match for the third time in a row. On February 10, 2019, Israel faced former UFC middleweight champion Anderson Silva in what was originally intended to serve as the co-main event of UFC 234. Both competitors shared the Fight of the Night prize for this conflict. On April 13, 2019, at UFC 236, Israel defeated Kelvin Gastelum to claim the interim UFC middleweight championship. On October 6, 2019, the Stylebender and Robert Whittaker squared off in a title unification bout for the UFC middleweight championship. Israel knocked out the opponent to win the match in round 2. He earned his fourth performance of the night trophy thanks to this triumph. On March 7, 2020, at UFC 248, Israel successfully defended his championship for the fight against Yoel Romero, a 3-time UFC champion challenger. Due to both combatants' lack of action, which led to a mostly dull match in which neither opponent could pass any significant attack, many followers and academics felt upset. On September 27, 2020, at UFC 253, Israel challenged fellow competitor Paulo Costa for his second championship defense. In the following round, he won the fight through professional knockout. He now has 5 Performance of the Night awards with this triumph. At UFC 259 on March 6, 2021, Israel was forced to compete for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship against a professional fighter named Jan Bakowicz. Israel lost his first match via technical knockout against Alex Pereira at UFC 281 on November 12, 2022, ending his run of 6 straight victories. Even the most enthusiastic hitters are hesitant to engage Israel Adesanya head-on because of how highly regarded his high-level counter-striking has become. Israel took responsibility for the subsequent back-to-back pick triumphs by insisting on having strong knockout power. After Gastelum defeated Israel in 5 rounds of combat, boxers started to consider how they could use the fight to make fun of Israel Adesanya. Israel, on the other hand, shocked the world by becoming famous for being the first opponent to KO Robert Whittaker inside the octagon. Israel then showed a brand with his incredible bravery and counter-punching. Israel Adesanya had an advantage over his opponents thanks to his size and hard power. Costa was prevented from striking and met with strikes every time he attempted to get better by Israel. Israel announced the game's full stride upon a stress fighter like Paulo Costa, while suffering an injury to his leading leg. Even though Costa was obtaining a huge victory next to Yoel Romero in his most recent show, it was unsettling to see him refuse to take the fight to the judges' table. Israel, however, prevailed in the psychological battle against Paulo Costa and was given the order to guarantee the victorious stopping of an undefeated champion. So, will Adesanya be able to defend his title against Strickland? What do you think about this fight? Tell us in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe and share. Thank you for tuning in.